Google has made a big change to its Bard AI chatbot. It's going to be called Gemini Ultra 1.0 Gemini Advanced, which is powered by Ultra. So you won't see the name Ultra anywhere, but that is the AI model that is powering Gemini Advanced. Now, this is a subscription platform. Google has been working hard to add new things to Gemini, but before knowing its coolest update, we have an amazing AI tool workshop, which I will talk in later part of this video.
9 rupees. 9 rupees cannot even buy you a packet of chips. But what if I tell you 9 rupees can save your job? What if I tell you 9 rupees can get you salary hike? What if I tell you 9 rupees can build your career in better way? Sounds too good to be true, right?
Interestingly, things in this list are mention of an advanced version powered by something called Gemini Ultra. It seems like Gemini Ultra is even more powerful than OpenAI ChatGPT-4. GPT-4 is what runs ChatGPT Plus and Microsoft Copilot, so Gemini Ultra could be a big deal. But there is a catch. To use Gemini Ultra, you need to pay, Google says. Gemini Ultra is really good at doing hard tasks. It can reason logically, help with coding, understand complex instructions, and work creatively with you. Google isn't stopping there. They made Gemini Ultra even better. They wanted to be able to analyze files, data, and documents in more depth. The Gemini app is another important part of Google's plan. It's going to be available for Android phones. Google thinks this app will change how we learn things, help us to write thank you notes, plan events, and do a lot more, all using Google's AI technology on our phones. Google also linked Gemini with other services they offer like Gmail, Maps, and YouTube. Android users will get a special app for Gemini. If you have an iPhone, you will be able to use Gemini through the regular Google apps. All these changes show that Google is really serious about improving AI and making it a big part of our daily lives. Now, let's talk about why this is exciting and important. Before actually experimenting, you all know that AI is taking over the world in such a short span of time. We have seen so many layoffs, millions of jobs replaced by AI, and whatnot. You don't want to get affected by this recession wave, right? Yes, I know. Well, AI won't replace you, but the person using AI will. If you want to save your job and become irreplaceable in your career, join our 3 hours AI tool workshop in which we will teach you about the best AI tools, upskill, increase your productivity, and enhance your career. Let's check its reasoning ability. I asked Gemini Ultra this today that I own 3 cars, but the last year I sold 2 cars. How many cars do I own today? Gemini Ultra said you own 1 car today. And yes, that was in all 3 drafts. I can see why they are calling it this as a Gemini Ultra 1.0. Want to make very clear that the model will be improved in future. GPT-4 said answers in you own 3 cars today. The information about selling 2 cars last year does not change the correct number of cars you now which you have selected as 3. I have performed it on and on this fairly challenging mathematical reasoning question. When I gave it a workflow, a set of instructions to work through, it was actually in all of my tests able to get the question right. ChatGPT-4 on the other hand, despite taking a lot longer time, would get the question wrong about half the time. That's why I say test it out on your workflow. Doesn't just rely on me or on official benchmarks. Okay, so what about images? How does Gemini Ultra compare to ChatGPT 4 when analyzing images? Well, I do have 2 tips here, but the first involves the flaw of Gemini Ultra. You sometimes have to give prompt to do something it definitely knows how to do. I showed Gemini this picture of a car dashboard and asked what speed I am going. It hallucinated that I was going at 60 mph, which was neither the speed shown on the speed limit. 40, it did warn me, however, that despite doing 4 in a 40 mph zone, that I should be aware that speeding is a dangerous practice, but I followed up with what is the temperature time and miles left in fueling. According to the photo, the temperature would be 3, the time is 1 minute past 8 and there are 284 miles left in the range. At first, Gemini refused, saying it couldn't determine any of those things, but then if you press it sufficiently at first with you can get all the informations is in the image, and then later with the temperature and timer at the top, and finally with just a pure repeat of the image I got the temperature time. Now let's see if I could analyze a piece of code that I actually wrote with the chat GPT. Just a game of snake, a very common Python code that people use as an example. I am just going to say what is this code and I'm going to paste the code here and I'll send it. And in this case, both of them did a good job. But again, I have done this 5 different times when it comes to coding, and in about half of the times that I gave it a code, it told me that the code was too long, even though it was code generated inside of ChatGPT as one block that I just copy and pasted the snake game code. For example, it's not very long. This is about as long as it is. So this is what I copied over from the ChatGPT, and in some cases when the code was a little bit longer, I was trying more advanced games and it just wasn't able to do anything with it. It wouldn't give me an answer. Now I should say I'm not a programmer, but this is a good case where I just gave some code. Let's say a programmer wrote for me to kind of break it down in a plain language for me. Nevertheless, the integration of Gemini across Google's ecosystem promise a more seamless and powerful AI experience for users worldwide, regardless of the device they use. All right, up. That's the wrap up our video. If you like it,